back to the podcast.
Welcome back.
Episode two.
Yes.
Episode two.
Yeah.
If I knew. Talking about what are we gonna be talking about today? Just like a broad strokes.
Facts.
No,
So,
I'm asking you.
all right. So the question of the day is, what feelings have you held on to that you should have
yeah.
let
That's
go
good.
of?
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
What feelings have you held on to that you should have let go of?
Okay.
And I guess we can jump right into it. Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? I went first last time. You go first, nigga.
Damn, bro. We going like okay.
Yeah. I went first last time. This is all you really
What feelings have I
held on.
held on to that I'm still
That
that
you
I
know you should let go.
that I know I should let go? Oof.
Yeah.
The feeling I held on to that I know I should have let go of was what is it? I was in a college soccer team. It was this regular season was over.
All right.
This was my freshman year. So excited. Regular season was over. I was injured most of the regular season. And then I finally was able to get fit close towards the end of the season. I'm like, dang, finally I can prove myself. So like I'm feeling good now. I'm coming back. We had postseason like workouts, winter workouts and stuff, and then we had spring workouts. Coming towards spring workouts, I get injured again. One of my teammates, he fouls the ever loving out of me. Like he goes for, I have the ball, he goes for the ball, and his legs get tangled up in my leg. Like he slide tackles me, and his legs get tangled up, and my ankles like it feels like a snap. And I sprained my ankle so badly, like I couldn't move my leg.
Wow.
I was injured for the rest of the spring season, and we have like closing meetings with our coaches.
All right.
And my coach had told me that I needed to bring my grades up in order to stay on the team. But like deep down, I felt like that's not what it really was for. Was for my
All right.
grades, because my grades was decent. It wasn't terrible. It was like I had 1D, which was I had 1D, and then like a B's and C's, or like
All
two B's and a C. And it was like, he was like, you need to bring your grades up or I'm going to have to kick you from the team. Then the next meeting he has is like, and he was like, you need to keep your grades up or else I'm going to have to kick you from the team. So I was like, okay, I will. And then he was like, you got to drop this class in order to do it. So the class that I had a D in, because like with your sports schedule, even if you're injured, you still have to go to the games. You have to go to the practices. So you still missing the same amount of classes, but you're injured. So it's harder to get places. Like I'm on crutches most of the season. I'm on crutches and I have to go from my class at like 2 to practice at 3. And some of the kids are leaving earlier and I didn't have a car. It's just me at the time. I didn't have a car. So and he tells me I have to like get my grades back up. And so I dropped the class that he told me to drop. And then the closing meetings we had before like because it was like final practices were over, we're done. It was just like the closing meetings. And he was like, I'm going to have to drop you from the team. And I got, And I was like, but I got my grades up. I dropped the class. Like I did everything he asked for. And he still dropped me from the team. Yeah, so I'm like, and I think deep down it was because I know some kids on the team. Like there was this one kid, I'll say his name, Mateo. He was a bitch, and huh? Yeah, bro. He was one of those kids who liked to fake like he was cool with you, and then he'll go behind your back and tell everything you did to the coach. Like he'd be like, "Oh yeah, so and so was smoking." Whole time, him and all the other upperclassmen were smoking too. Him and all the other classmen, and be the same upperclassmen reporting to the coaches, telling them what we were doing, knowing damn well they're doing the same thing. Yeah, and it's like 14 freshmen at the time, and like the seniors would tell us, yeah, you can't hang out with these certain people like Jordan, Mateo, like you can't hang out with them because they're snitching to the coach. Like they're literally the coach's mouthpiece. If they were going to fake nice to you and act nice to you just to find out what you're doing, what you're up to. And then they're gonna go tell the coach. Like so, they were like reporting when we go to parties and stuff like that. And it's college, it's freshman year, so of course you're gonna go to parties. And like I'm injured, so I'm like I don't even play. So why wouldn't I go out and try to enjoy myself?
Exactly.
But I'm like deep down, I felt like, and so deep down, I felt like that wasn't the real reason he dropped me for. He said he dropped me for my grades. That wasn't the real reason. I felt like
Yeah,
it was
bro.
all these other things that people were telling him that
Uh,
I confided in, like these upperclassmen that I confided in. And so I spazzed out on him. I was like, how you gonna drop me from my team for my grades when most of the upperclassmen, bro, they were all on academic suspension or probation. Like most of the like we had some dumb fuck upperclassmen. They were on academic suspension or probation.
Let me ask you
And
this, bro, real quick. Let me ask you this. So, do you think it was because you're a freshman and you're doing that that he had a little tolerance for you? The upperclassman was doing that
yeah,
too, or
I think it was
it
because I
kind
had him. Those were his favorites, right? So those were his favorites, and it was like I had no because I had was injured most of the season. I had not given him anything, so he was like, "I don't really need you. You haven't shown what you can do, and you're constantly injured. So there's more leeway for him to drop you. Like pretty much is really what it was. Like and it took me a while for me to realize I'm like, you can't just drop me from my grades. That's bullshit. Obviously, I knew that was bullshit. Like and and so I started spazzing out. I'm talking all these other. I'm throwing everybody under the bus because I'm so mad. Yo, I was like, so and so. I was like, Jordan's on academic probation. Kinty's on academic like all these other juniors and sophomores are on academic probation, and I'm getting dropped from my grades. That's bull. Going off, going off. I'm like, so and so, and like that really made me hate soccer. Cause
uh,
bro, like, come to find out, this guy was a huge racist. Like he called,
really,
yeah. So yeah,
really,
next year he called. He said he called like because we had a whole bunch of Africans, including me, on the team,
yeah,
and he called one of the kids. He was like, "Stop saying nigger." Like you know how us
yeah,
as black people talk to each other, and we're talking in groups and stuff. We're talking to each other,
yeah.
and it's like, bro, but he drops the hard R during practice in front of everybody. He's like, stop saying nigger this, nigger that. And we were like, what? What? And the assistant coach was even like, yeah. He
Ooh,
never really apologized for that too, and the school never really did anything about it. But but like, what was it? I think for a long time I held on to that grudge, though, that feeling of being slighted like that,
bro,
and for a long time, I hated soccer because of it. Like I hated soccer, football. You can call it whatever you want. I hated it for a long time. Like, and this was I loved like I fell in love with soccer because of my dad. It was a way for me to get close to my dad and my brother. So it was just like as an athlete, it's a huge part of your as a student athlete. It's such a huge part of your identity. You went through a huge identity crisis of like who I am and stuff like that. Like it just made me dislike the sport altogether. Dislike the collegiate level. I'm never gonna play for another college coach again, and I do regret holding on to that hatred so much because like I could have still been playing like even
yeah,
at a different level and still have that love. Like I like found the love again, but it's just like it's not the same. I don't play as much as I used to play. And I wish I never let it affect me so much, and I wish I never let his words affect me because at the end of the day, his opinion means little to who I am,
right,
and his opinion of me should not be higher than my opinion of myself. And I let it get to me, and I let it feel me, and I let the hatred feel me to just do spiteful and a stupid thing to myself that ultimately hurt myself. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was. Oh man, but what? I never felt so like you're in that room, your heart is racing,
yeah. I can imagine.
and and then he drops that on you. I'm just like, I did everything you asked for, so it was just like, just for me to come to understand, like, it wasn't really me. It was just
Yeah,
the situation, and
situation.
yeah,
So first thing first, like, oh, you get your shit together, man. You got
I
to
wasn't gonna
graduate.
say the school. I
No,
wasn't gonna
no, no, fuck all that. Nah, I like
We
go get
can mute the names. I don't care.
yeah, you gonna hey man, get your shit together. You gotta erase this nigga as a head coach.
I mean,
And
bro,
he dropping hard R's, no apology. At least an apology, no apologies, nothing.
man,
Get
I
your
got some stories about Lyco, bro. Listen,
get your
I
shit,
got some stories.
man. But damn, bro, I can only imagine that because like I was injured freshman year too, and you know we both had injuries. So
Yeah,
when we have injuries, as someone that loves sports, man, it hurts just sitting down and seeing your teammates go out and battle and you can't do shit. You start looking down at yourself, man. You start
yeah,
thinking lower of yourself. So you grind and try to get yourself back to health. You finally get back to health, and now it's grades. But your grades not even that bad. You grinding, getting it back, and then for him to drop some bullshit like that, it's like, yo, after all the hard work I just put in,
and I'm going to every single practice, bro. And
after
I gotta wake up earlier than everybody else because I'm injured. We had like 6 a.m. practices. Gotta wake up at like 5:30 or 4 just to get there on time to get myself ready and everything. I'm in the cast. I'm in the cast the whole time. Yeah, man.
that, so it's like after all the hard work I just done, you see the love I have for this sport. You see how much I've been grinding, and you gonna drop me on some bull. Damn.
Yeah.
So did that trickle down into any other part of your life, man? Because that carrying that
Um,
hatred, of course, you had hatred for the sport and
it
him.
trickled down into me just hating like any collective, not collective thing, but just like pushing myself for other people.
Mm, what you
Like
mean?
I'm like you know how, bro, when I was so fit, like you know what I mean, like my it was on because like I want them to see me at my best, not doing it really for me but doing it for them, you know what I mean. And for a while I stopped going to the gym because I'm like, I don't gotta do this no more. It felt
Right,
good, like, but
right.
then the depression hit, and then it was like, oh, but what am I gonna do, you know, like this was such a huge part of my identity. And like, I'm not. Am I really gonna let this? And I did for a while. I was just like, I was lost for so long because of it. You know.
So
Fi-
if you had to name the emotion, like one, because you know there's a baseline emotion and then there's secondary emotions because of this one emotion. So just the story you told, what emotion really stands out the most?
Um, like my baseline emotion,
Yeah, like
hatred, hatred. Yeah, it was definitely hatred. Oh, I hated this man's guts.
mm,
hmm And like for a while, like even when I was seeing him on campus, I would like give him the evil eye, like for
mm,
no reason. I mean, like obviously for a reason, but like
yeah,
I hated this man's guts. Yeah, it was
mm.
definitely hatred.
So what did you have to do to work through that?
Not be by myself, not to
Mm.
sit in my thoughts. You know what I mean? Because you know,
Nah, explain that because that
like
could mean different things for people. What do you mean by not
like
be by yourself and not sit
what
with
is
your
the what is
thoughts?
this like the enemy of the mind is silence. I think that's the quote. The enemy of your mind is silence. So like when I'm by myself and I'm deep in my thoughts, like it goes to the worst places.
Right.
In terms of my hatred, not the worst place in terms of me, you know,
Yeah.
myself. Even
Yeah.
though that did, I'm not gonna. It came up a couple times, but like,
Yeah.
but just in terms of like just hatred for this person and like, yeah, hatred for myself too, you know, because
Yeah.
a lot of things is just like I reflected on that I could have done better to not get in this situation, you know. So it definitely it definitely helped me with a lot of self reflection, talking to
Mm.
friends. Yeah, but so I couldn't be by myself really, because then I'm just left to my own devices to like
Right.
wonder about certain things and just build a resentment.
Mm.
And I think hanging out with my friends after the fact definitely did help. Like, cause
Mm.
literally it was like I just went into hanging out with my friends. Maybe sometimes not the best avenues, but like you know they definitely helped with the deep underlying issue of it all.
Mm.
And yeah, so because
Okay.
every time I was alone, man, it was on my mind. But I'm not gonna lie though, it was like a huge weight lifted. Like the other emotion was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders.
Mm. Wow.
Like, cause I don't got the anxiety
Yo,
shits no more. I don't got the anxiety shits,
man.
bro. Game day, you got anxiety and stuff. Like I'm like,
student
I'm like,
athlete, that John is a full time job. Like you working two full time jobs because you're a full time student and then
I'm
you're at
missing most of classes.
Joe to what? So I feel you. I feel you, bro. When I stopped playing sports, it's like, bro.
I
But
don't miss those. I
yeah,
promise you. Like I
but
don't.
when you say you had to make sure you're not left by yourself and you start hanging out with your friends and doing that, that's good. But how'd you get that balance with not being left by yourself, making sure you socialize and do things that'll make you feel better and get your mind off it versus not going too far into where you're avoiding it now?
How'd I get that balance?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was young. I don't think I did. It took me a while. I don't think I did. I think it was just like a lot of. I kept myself busy with other physical activities. Like we played a lot of basketball. Like we went to the gym together and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't think I did. I think that's when I started jumping into relationships. Like literally, it was that happened, and then it was never something I really processed until like I would process it through my relationships, like when I'm by myself and stuff.
Right.
Because it's not like I was always around my friends or my girl, but it was just like, yeah, I don't
So,
think I truly had that.
so what was like
Or
the determining factor that made you like actually start processing it? Like you said, you was jumping into relationships, you was doing stuff to avoid it. What happened to make you say, "No, I got to deal with this"?
um, I think it was when I was like, why? When I would see him, and I'm like, why am I letting this man I see dictate my emotions?
Mm,
And I would get so mad.
right.
And then I had a think to myself, like, why do I keep letting this man dictate my emotions? Like, it's over, it happened. I have to learn to get over it.
Yeah.
I think that was a huge factor. Yeah, how my physical reaction to it to see him, like your heart
Mm,
starts beating fast. It's just full of
right.
rage. Yeah.
So walk me through your actual reflection time and to actually help you process it and get over it. Like what are some things you did to actually start doing that work? What did your shadow work and your reflection work look like?
Um, talking to others about it. I was talking to a counselor for a while,
Mm,
talking to my professors about the situation. Cause, bro, this John did affect me in the long term. Cause the class he had me drop. Oh God, my junior year, the class he had me drop. I almost didn't. It was my freshman seminar that he had me drop, and I almost couldn't graduate because of that.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
You
because
can only take it. Yo.
you can
Wow.
only take it your freshman year. I had
Wow.
to tell my like opening up to my guidance counselor about it and the situation that happens. Like, Vito, why'd you drop this class? What were you thinking? What were you? I'm like, it wasn't like I was 18 years old. I listened to what my coach told me. What do you want me to do? I don't know. It's my first time in college. I don't know what I'm doing. And yeah, it was really talking it out. My professor in my major really like understood, and like she was there for me. Shout out Miss Leah Peterson. She was really there for me, honestly. She I could go to her to talk to her about the situation and like everything that happened, how it affected me. It was really, yeah, it was talking to trusted people that cared about me and that I cared about that like helped out, and then talking to like school counselors and stuff, and like yeah, like a school therapist. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the breakthrough moment where you knew? Because obviously it still affects you. Of course, that's
Yeah.
something you never truly gets over. It stays with you, but where you know that I don't let that shit affect me as powerful as it used to. When did you
Yeah.
know, like, I'm good? I can revisit this without letting it take me back.
When did I know?
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Was there a time? Like, I don't know if there's any specific time. It's just when I just really stopped thinking about it. When it was just like not on my mind as much. When I really just like, oh yeah, like when you can finally laugh at your pain.
Yeah.
That's when I knew. Like that's when I knew. When I
That's
could
a good,
finally really laugh at it. And
that's a
I
good
was
one.
just there wasn't really time. It was just I'm not gonna lie, my boy Josh, that man is funny as heck.
Yeah.
He He makes you laugh at your pain. I'm not even gonna lie. This nigga would clown you till the ends of the earth. Yeah, bro. It's just, but yeah, like this, relentless.
Just because I know you was tight at first, bro.
Oh yeah,
I know
cause
you
I'm
was.
coming at him back. I'm like, your pickle nose. You talk
Yeah,
about my
yeah, I know you was.
lace up. You're not seeing me. Like, what are you talking about? Yo, come on. But
Yeah,
yeah, at first I was tight, but like, you get over it. Yeah, it's growing. It's being human. It's like
yeah, that's real. That's real.
it's
And
hard. It's not easy too.
yeah, and that's an important thing you said, bro. Like I noticed when you have so much hatred for people, it really does eat at you, man. It really does eat at you, and it feels to me like you're giving your power away. You're
Yeah,
literally giving them away. Like if somebody has that much control over you, that just by looking at them, they can completely change your mood and change the whole trajectory of your day. That's too much power to give anybody.
yeah.
So firsthand, letting go of hatred is hard.
Oh
It's hard, bro. It's hard. It feels like you're a bitch, bro. Like, yo, they did me dirty. Why the fuck am I forgiving them and letting this shit go? Like, it
no,
feels like you letting them off easy, bro.
you just
Like,
want to do something, but
yeah,
like I
yeah.
think it's a level of like knowing like you doing something will actually get you into more
More trouble, more
yeah,
stupid.
more
Yeah,
trouble, more stupid things than you actually. Maybe a younger me, like,
facts.
would have done something like when Mister Moody ripped up, not Mister Sir,
Yeah.
when he ripped up my drawing in math class. Oh man, I didn't do a single work in that class. I
Mm,
stopped working. Like I literally, but that only affected me because it literally the worst math teacher I've ever had. God,
facts.
bro, if he's still the worst, like he was such a dickhead. I don't understand why he was such a why he was the why are you teaching if this is how you want to treat
That's real.
kids?
Why? If you in a position where you got so much effect on people's lives, especially young people,
Yeah,
and you just a dickhead. You know you probably deep down you
respectfully,
really probably deep down you really don't even mess with kids or mess with people in general. It's maybe just a power thing for you.
bro. I was literally done my work, and I was sitting down just drawing.
Wow.
Everybody was doing like a quiz and stuff. I finished my quiz and I took out a piece of paper to draw on, and he ripped it up in front of the class. He's like,
Oh,
"What are you doing?" Picked it up, ripped it up, and I was like, "Yo." The anger that came over me,
imagine.
yo,
I can
I
imagine.
wanted to strangle that man,
I can
slap
imagine.
his little pot belly, be like, "Who you talking to?"
I
Like,
know how
but
you were. I know how
like,
you were, bro.
like,
Yo, but
but yeah, it's just I forgot where I was going with that. I'm not gonna lie. I just
he
yo,
brought me,
I
yo,
just
you the whole flashback. Yo, we
yo,
unpacking, bro. We unpacking.
yeah man.
You like
Yeah
speaking
man.
of hatred.
Let me tell you about this man.
Yeah, this nigga in middle school, man.
Ripped up all my paper.
Yeah,
My art.
because it's just funny the
My
things you
prize
hold
piece.
on to, bro. Like that's why talking about it is important because we'll start with something that's big, the obvious stuff.
Yeah.
But then we go back and think something like this, like, damn, now that I think about it, that did piss me off.
Oh my days. But I don't know. I just had a lot of beef with a lot of teachers too. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of beef with a lot of teachers. The one person that didn't have beef with was the person that had beef with you, which is weird. She liked me for some reason.
Which one?
A Spanish teacher.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why she liked me.
man.
We don't even gotta talk about her, but
We was,
yeah,
I forgot we
yeah,
was in the same class, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
For like what's bro? It was me, you. I think Shaheen was in our class too.
yeah.
Yo, no, that class was funny. That's probably why we was this is why we couldn't be in the same class, bro. This is why
I
we
think
we
that's the
talk
only
about
class
this.
we ever had together.
Yeah, it was, and it
Yeah,
was the yo
that's why we had to be separated for so many years, man. I get it. We had to mature, but
teachers was definitely talking about don't ever put these two in the
facts.
same class. This man over here rapping about chicken. This kid don't stop throwing stuff like these two. Nah,
It's so immature. But like when I think about this question, bro,
yeah,
feelings I've held on to that I should let go. The first thing that popped up was anger. because childhood, it was just a lot of anger, a lot of pent up anger. And then it went from anger to shame.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that I'm getting older, I realize the things I did out of anger and the people I hurt and just how I looked. And yeah, it's shame. But when I really get to the root cause, I think it was inadequacy, feeling inadequate, like I'm not good enough. That was the driving force that created all this and lingered, man. Like I think, and it's not even trying to throw my dad under the bus. Like now that I'm older, I get it. I get it based off the way he raised, man. He had it rough. He had it crazy rough. And then he went through war and all that. So I get it. I get it. He went through the Civil War. Um, he told me a story. The Civil War was going on. He was walking to some kind of border, going somewhere. And then the child soldiers came up. It said, dude, like probably 9, 10. So he walked in with the things he had, these pants, these new pants he bought. And you know, it was wartime. So when you bought those pants, like that's probably all he had. So he
Mm-hmm.
walk in, the child soldier stopped him. He's like, hey, Papi, I respect you. Give me your trousers. So he's like, I'm looking, I was like, yo, like, I was like, yo, this little 9-year-old, 10-year-old kid talking about, I respect you, give me your pants. And like, I'm a grown man. Like, he's like, yo, if you had that gun, I'll slap the hell out of you. He's like, I'll beat the mess out of you. So, like, I think that specific moment made him dislike when kids get rebellious or speak up. And something. I feel like that did something the way it made him look at kids differently and how
Mm-hmm.
he was hard on me. But yeah, so like just growing up, man, school time, um, he helping me through homework. I'm getting things wrong, just normal stuff, stuff that a kid would get wrong. I'm getting things wrong, throwing straight ass whoopings all the time. Like I'm talking, I'm trying my hardest. Boom, popped me in my eye. I couldn't even see. Like he's like reading. I was like, man, I can't see. Like so, it was a lot of that. Especially when it came to school, he was big on school because his parents were big on school, and I guess that's an African thing in general.
Oh yeah.
And I never liked school. I was always okay at school. I got honor rolls a few times. I got decent grades, but it was never up to his standards. And so some of the things he would always call me stupid. And like I used to hate that. He would always call me stupid. And I didn't see how it was affecting me, but there was a point where stupid was like my trigger word. If people call me stupid or it alluded to me being stupid, they only gotta say the word, but anything that alludes to me being stupid, I would black out. Like
Yes.
instantly black out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be cool, but we arguing, I'm cool. But as soon as you say stupid or allude to enemy, anything about me being stupid, I would just black out instantly and didn't know why. But then later that started affecting my mind. So now when it comes to school and classes, like I qualify for honor roll classes, I still don't want to take it. It's like, it's like, man, I'm not smart enough for that. It's like, what you mean? You test into it, you qualify for it. I was like, yeah, I'm not smart enough for that. And then it seemed like with him, it seemed like, man, whatever I do just wasn't good enough. Just wasn't good enough. So that had me look at myself different. And that's what got me into football. Because I had an uncle that's like 4 years older than me. And the way my granddad used to talk about him and my dad, I used to see my dad brag about my uncle to like his friends and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing football. I started playing sports and still just thinking, because you play something new, of course you're not going to be good. Of
Mm-hmm.
course you're not going to be good. So I wasn't good. And thinking like, I don't want to be embarrassing my, my family. So for years, like, I told them, don't come to the games. Like my dad came to one game in my from childhood up until I was 18. Even my mom came to one game. All the sports I played, they came to like one game because I told them to. Like, yo, like even though I got to a point now, I'm starting, I'm making plays, um, I'm a good player. I mean, I'm making plays, I'm doing
Yeah.
good, I'm playing well. People giving me these accolades, my stats showing for it. I still think I'm not good enough, man. Like, I still tell my parents, no, don't come to the games. No, I don't want to F up and then like just embarrass myself. I was thinking real low of myself. So
Mm-hmm. All that trauma from when you do F
yeah,
up. The
Yeah,
repercussions of that.
exactly. So I'm thinking real low of myself, thinking real low of myself, and it got to a point where it seemed like whatever I do, okay, he likes grades, cool. I got honor roll. He look at it, oh, good job, you can do better. That's it. Try. That's it. I was like, damn, man, like you on my ass for grades, man. I snapped. I had almost damn near all A's, two B's, and I think I had a C, and I don't even think it was a C. Hey, I think damn near all A's and like two or three B's. Talking about good job. You can do better. Try just like that. But then my sister get on the road. He buying her stuff. I was like, yo, like, what is it?
You're seeing the different. Yeah.
And it was obvious too. My mom even admitted this later talking that it was obvious my dad favored my sister. So that made me think like, oh, what? I feel like I was always getting beat for stuff. I was getting blamed for stuff. When I do good, I don't get the same accolades as my sister.
Hmm.
So I was like, maybe it really is just me. So I carried all that inadequacy deep within me, and that started turning into anger. I was like, well, I'm not good enough. All right, man, fuck that. Okay, you value school? Fuck school. You value this? Fuck this, man. I'm not doing anything. I'm not listening to y'all. So, like, high school, that's when I started having the rebellious age. Like, man, I'm not listening to y'all. Y'all can't treat me this way. Start standing up, start wilding. So I started getting mad, started punching holes through the walls, started doing all that, just wilding, lose my anger, blacking out all the time, just because deep down I was angry, but I was really just hurt, man. Just hurt. Like, damn, why? I feel like he ain't love me, bro. I feel like he ain't love me. Like, yo, like, why? It's like I feel like I just couldn't do anything right. Like, yo, you value grades, I do this. You value. I thought you value sports because how you brag about my uncle. I play sports, and he told me he's like, man, I don't give a damn about sports. I have my way. You gonna play, and I remember it came to a point where I started smoking weed to deal with the pain. And then he found out, he was talking about, yeah, I'm real disappointed in you. This and that, I'm real disappointed in you. And that broke me. That broke me. I was like, damn, man, I've been doing everything, try to get your approval
Trying to
and
get you to pay attention to
try to
me,
get you to pay attention to me, man. Just trying
and the only
for
thing
me,
that does.
not yeah, for not something that I do for you or something you think a good child should do. Just try to get you to pay attention for
Yeah.
me. And it was I think it was senior year. And I don't know what conversation we was doing. He was like, yeah, man, you gotta figure out what you want to do with your life, this and that. I don't know what conversation we was having, but at one point he came and he said, yeah, like, because to be very frank with you, you ain't doing nothing that made me proud. I was like, like, bro, it felt like time slowed, man. Like, yo, I spent my whole life just trying to get you to say you proud of me, and like you pretty much confirmed that it was all for nothing.
Mm.
Like, say you ain't do nothing to make me proud. Like, whoa, that and like at that point, that's where the anger came back. Cause yo, fuck you, man. I don't need you. This I want to put hands on him, man. I was like, yo, fuck this. So after that, we start talking about things like, yeah, you gotta figure out what you want to do with your life. I was supposed to go to the Marines. I had the date and time all set up, but you know, with me, I was going through identity crisis. And now I know I was going through identity crisis. So at the time,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to denounce my Liberian citizenship to join the Marines because at that time, Liberian had dual citizenship. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So I had some options. So I could have go play lacrosse at this one school that I ended up going to give me a scholarship. It wasn't much, but they gave me a scholarship. Something. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, it's something.
Yeah.
You know? And I could play football. And with football, the main concern was, hey, you're injured. So a lot of coaches say, yo, you come on, you walk on. We just want to see that you can stay injury free. Like if you stay injury free, and we can talk about scholarships. Like we like you, but our concern is we give you a scholarship and then you get injured again. That'll be a waste. So I'm telling him that I said, okay, I could go play sports. He was like, and he was talking me out of everything I said. He's like, so how confident are you that you'll make it to the league if you play sports instead of just wasting time, wasting money? I was like,
It's a
all right,
scholarship.
yeah. So I was like, all right, then it's like lacrosse. What do you do with lacrosse? So I said, okay, I could do real estate. He was like, man, I'm not lying. I know people that do real estate that you gotta be this, you gotta be that. It's bullshit. I know you tell me bullshit. I was like, yo, like, what is it? Like, he wanted me to go to a trade school or the military pretty much. He was like, yeah, school, I know school not for you. I see what you do in school, school not for you. I don't want you to waste your time. And I was like, all right. In his defense, I did hate school. So I was like, okay, I see that. I see that. That's concerned. I see that. I accept that.
But does he know he's also the reason why you hate school? Like,
Actually, you
so
didn't know.
it's not even okay.
Yeah, you know that part. So I see that. So yeah, I'm keep on looking at options, stuff that I was genuinely interested in. Like before he even brought this up, stuff that I was already thinking anyway. Just shoot it down, shoot it down, shoot it down.
Hmm.
And after a while, I had to think. I was like, man, all right, so I don't want to join the military. I was like, the trade stuff, I can always learn trade. I got an opportunity to play sports in college. And I was injured most of the time. With football, I was injured 3 out of 4 years. With lacrosse, I pretty much played 2 seasons because I was ineligible for 2 other seasons. So it was like lacrosse. Yeah, I really wanted to go play football. But I was like, all right, man. And my dad was like, yo, you go to school, I can't pay for it. No, I can't pay nothing on it. It'll be up to you. Sounds like, all right, so
He
scholarship,
said if you go to school, it's up to you.
yeah, I can't pay for it. It'll be
So
on you.
and he didn't want you to go to school.
He didn't want me to go to school. And because he felt like me going to school would be a waste of time. He was like, you ain't do good in school. I can tell you don't like school. It'll be a waste of time. I'm not doing it. But come to
Some
find out, because his dad was like that, man. He when he was taking the exams, or some African exams, like I think the whole of Africa take it, or maybe just the whole country take it.
Mhm.
It's some African exams to get into school. He had a job. He had a job working for his dad at the mechanic shop that his dad owned. So he was working there. So when his dad ended up paying for his big brother, his older brother, to go to school, gave him an allowance and all that. But now when he got accepted into school and he went to his dad, he was, hey, I got into school. He's like, oh, congratulations. How you pay for it? He's like, what?
just like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
just like that. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, how you pay for it? He's like, but you pay for this. She was like, don't you got a job and you been working? What happened to the money you been getting? And he said from that point, man, he hated his dad. My dad was from the countryside. He was from, I think from Lofa. He was from
Suffolk
the
County.
countryside, yeah, Lofa County. So that's the interior. So he was from the
Hmm.
countryside. So he went to University of Liberia in Monrovia, the main city. So
Hmm.
that's a good drive. That's at least like a 5 hour drive and whatnot. So he said, yeah, he went to college and he ain't talked to his dad the whole time. He ain't go home the whole time in 4 years. I think he went home like once in 4 years. And then at that time, yeah, he went home like once in 4 years. So I was like, damn, he carried that hate. And I see my dad just replaying all that into our relationship. So he said, he said, you go to school, I can't pay for it. So it's on you. So now I'm stuck with the decision. I was like, yo, I don't want to denounce my Liberian citizenship and join the Marines or just the military in general. I can always go to trade school. Like, this is an opportunity to play college sports. People dream about this. Like,
Hmm.
and like, it was deep too. I was like, there's been people who've been playing lacrosse for their whole life, ain't getting out one offer. It was like, I've been playing literally just 2 years and I got an offer. It's like something about this. I gotta take this opportunity.
Yeah.
So I told him, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna go play for that. He was like, okay, hey, that's the choice you want to make. Almost like, I mean, what's the word for it? Not conceited. What's the word for it? It's like when
Oh,
they say,
word.
okay, condescending in a condescending way.
Okay.
It's like, okay,
Very
what do you want
condescending.
to do then? It's like, all right, but yeah, so they emailed me the offer letter and I needed my dad to sign it. He refused to sign it. He refused to sign, and you can't go, you can't be on the team, you can't be admitted to the school without signing the offer letter. My dad refused to sign it. I talked to him, he refused to sign it. I had to go against his back, get my mom to sign that, John. So now I'm in school. I'm still thinking real low of myself. I'm still mad. And I get injured. I get injured. Yeah, something was going on with my back. Now that I know what I know, I was carrying a lot of depression, and sometimes depression and anxiety and stuff you're going on with you mentally gets stored in your body physically, and you start having actual physical ailments. Because you're going to the doctors, they doing all this tests, they can't see nothing wrong. So
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's something emotionally going on that's affecting your body. But I didn't know that at the time, and like I'm running, my back is on fire. So training. I can't do the practice, but it's not like you're injured. You got a cast. People can understand that. For me, it's like, cause your back hurt. And people looking at me like I'm soft, man. It was like, yo, like just getting out of bed.
It's that lower back, huh?
Yeah, yeah, just
Mm.
getting out of bed hurt. Like it was a task just to get out of bed. So I'm thinking low of myself. It's like, man, like people looking at me like I'm soft. I'm thinking low of myself. Again, I'm not practicing. I don't know how much time I'll get. Think just real low. So I try to distract myself with it, go out partying after a while. And then I look, it's like, yo, what am I doing here? Like, what am I doing here? This stuff gets repetitive. We going to the same places. Like, what am I doing with my life, man? So I started losing the love for lacrosse. I started waking up every morning thinking that, like, yo, what am I doing here, man? Every morning
Oh,
I wake up, I just stare at the wall, just feel low, feel numb. And it wasn't until I talked to the counselor. And she was like, "Hey, Paul, like, I notice you usually don't communicate in class, but when you do, it's always very valuable. You always add a lot. I would like for you to participate more in class." And I started talking to her. I didn't know she was the guidance counselor because she taught a class. So she was just my English teacher at the time. Started telling her how I was feeling. I was like, yo, I'm always tired no matter how much sleep I get. Like, I lost the love of this. I really don't feel nothing. And it sounded like she was like, sounds like you're depressed. And you got depression. I was like, what's depression? Because you hear about it, but you never really know what it meant.
there is no depression
In the
growing
African
up in an
house,
African household,
there's
man.
no depression. So after that,
Something just wrong with you.
exactly, something is nothing that a good beating can't fix. Facts. But yeah, so once she told me that, it started clicking. And then I realized like, all right, man, I can't stay in school and do this. Like, I just mentally couldn't do this no more. So this is now where the shame started kicking in. It's like, damn, people got an opportunity. Like, people pray for opportunities like this. I'm in a great opportunity and I'm really about to just give it away just because I'm sad. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Like, of course, the pressure's more than that. But at the time, that's what I thought. I was like, just because I'm sad. It's like people pray for opportunities like this, and I'm not practicing. I'm injured because my back hurt. It was like I'm really just thinking low of myself. I'm like,
Feel
damn, they
like
made
they're
it.
all excuses.
Yeah, think they have all excuses and thinking like the coach took a big risk on me. Like I
Talking
don't
to
even have,
yourself like how your
he
dad
just so
talked to
happened to
yourself.
see me when he was trying to scout somebody else. He took a big risk on me, and I'm letting the team down. I'm letting the coach down. And at first, I was like, okay, maybe I could just redshirt. I mean, take time to get my mind right. And then I talked to the coach about it, and that was scary. Go and talk to the coach, it's like, hey, man, we need you. Like, we're thin on defense. Like, defense, that's this year and the next 2 years, we trying to recruit heavy on defense. So it's like, we can't afford anybody on defense to redshirt. Told him, it's like, I gotta drop out. I gotta stop playing. And he was just like, okay. And just that reaction too, I was like, I don't know, maybe it was an ego. You mean like,
Mm.
damn, just okay, damn, you that cool with it? Like shit.
So
You're gonna
instead
try
of
to
letting
throw
me
me out of
wear
there a
shirt,
little
you
bit.
let me, yeah. Instead of letting me wear shirt, keep me on the team. You just drop me altogether.
You want
Like
me to
what?
think about it, man? Just okay, damn. But yeah, so that's when the shame started kicking up. I feel like I'm giving all excuses. I feel like I'm wasting a good opportunity. I'm letting the coaches down. I'm letting teammates down because the team was like a whole family. So once I made that decision, I talked to my mom. She's like, no. She's like, no, you're not doing that. I was like, what? I was like, I can't. Because my mom did a lot better now. But back then, she didn't understand the pressure and whatnot. I was like, what? Because you're feeling down? No, you're not doing that. So she wouldn't come get me. Like, I wanted to drop out ASAP. It was like halfway through the year, halfway through the semester, I wanted to drop out ASAP. And she's like, no, you at least finish the year. I was like, all right. So she think if I finish the year, I'll change my mind. I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna do the year. And then when I come back home summer, I'm done. So I finished out the year, and that's when shame started growing even more. Like I'm about to come to an African community as the dropout.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Dude that
Mm.
spent one semester in college,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
wasted a
That
good opportunity, had a scholarship to go play sports, to get his education,
ruined it for himself.
ruined it for himself
All of that.
because he
His
feeling
poor
down.
mother. All this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. His family worked hard to bring him to this country to get education. He just gonna waste it after one
Mm.
semester. So all that shame and embarrassment start kicking in. And yeah, that shame and embarrassment start kicking in. I did Job Corps. And the shame just because people look down on Job Corps and trades jobs. Shame in that too. Like, what am I doing with my life? So long story short, a few months after that, I had the suicide attempt. After arguing with my sister and my mom, it's like a big argument, man. And just
Mm-hmm.
like, everything was building up. It's like, yo, man, I just don't want to be here, man. Like it felt like life was like a prison. Like, damn, this is life. Like, like what else am I gonna do in life? I feel like I had no opportunity. Like, yo, what else am I gonna do in life? Like, I'm done, man. I'm tired of feeling this way. I feel like it's never gonna end. So, yo, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
So after the suicide attempt again, I went to the crisis center for 3 days. Went to the crisis center for 3 days. I got evaluated by a psychiatrist, and she ain't even listened to me. She just heard that I had a prior suicide attempt that nobody knew about. She heard it's oh, you're a risk. You got to go to the mental hospital. It's like, but I was like, and I knew I just needed therapy. I was like, yo, what? You're not even listening. He's like, you're a risk. You got to go. So I ended up in the mental hospital for about three
That'll
days.
do something to me, bro. Like
Bro,
you don't even want to hear me out.
I
Already
was,
feeling like you're not being heard out.
I felt, yeah, bro, that killed me, man. That killed me. But I'm happy for that experience because it did give me my purpose. So in the mental
Oh,
hospital, I was feeling low. Even at the crisis center, like there was a Liberian lady working at the crisis center.
yeah.
And once she found out I was Liberian, I think it was after like day two. When she found out I was Liberian and I wasn't really interacting with nobody, I just sitting to myself like this, just low. Like wasn't causing no trouble, just sitting to myself, not interacting with nobody. So she pulled me to the side. She's like, come here. She pulled me to the side. It's like, yo, you Liberian, man. I don't like seeing you here. I see you as a little brother. She told me her story. I told her mine, and like I broke down. Like I broke down, bro. Like, bro, like all that shit I was holding in, man. It just that's the first time really just opening up like that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's okay, man. It's
yeah, bro.
okay.
Like, so like to feel heard, especially by someone that understands, especially someone in the culture that understand and that's not judging me, bro. I just let everything out. And then from that point on, man, she was working with me. I started participating more, and then when I got transferred to the mental hospital, even at the crisis center, I started talking to people more. People start opening up to me, telling me their problems, and I was just talking, and they didn't even see it as giving them advice, and they say they like that, and they like what I told them. They like the perspective. That I went to the mental hospital, and again, I started interacting there, and people tell me their stories, telling me their stories. I'm just talking. I don't see it as giving the advice. But when I was walking, and we was walking past this one hall where they had the children's ward. And I saw the little kids walking up, man. They looked like they about like 6.
Yeah.
That shit broke me again. That was the first time I cried in the mental hospital. I was like, damn, these are
Like little 6 year
babies,
olds
man. Like
in the mental hospital.
in a mental hospital. Like, yo,
You just wonder what they've been through.
how they end up here? And I'm talking to
Yeah,
the
man.
parents. I'm talking to the workers, and they're like, yeah, man. Some of them you could tell is from birth, but a lot of them is because of the parents, man. It's because of the parents. So
Abusive
that's like
parents,
no kids should
drug
have to go
addicted
through that.
parents.
Yeah, no kids should have to go through that. So that's what got me my purpose and wanting to help kids. So to continue with the shame, I'm
Yeah.
in here now. I'm thinking, damn, I got to leave, go out in the real world again. So now, and that's real taboo, especially in the African culture. And I'm not dogging the African culture. I'm just saying, like, that's something that's not talked about. It's just taboo.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, not only am I the dropout, now I'm the crazy person that end up in the mental hospital.
Like, especially because they feel like we survived the war just for this type. Like, it's a weird energy
Yeah.
sometimes where
And then
they're
it's looking
comparing their
down on you
situation
too.
to our
Yeah, it's
situation.
like we survived a whole war. And then you end up in a mental
They had to
hospital
be
because you're
strong,
feeling
yeah.
sad. Yeah, it's like you end
But
up
it's
in
just y'all was
a
just burying everything, all your feelings down to survive, which is like I understand that completely. You had to do what you had to do to survive, get your family out,
flex.
all of that, and so much respect for that. But then you come to another country for a better life for your kids,
Yeah,
and it's some in a way you're coming to the country so your kids can even have the opportunity to express and explore your own emotions, bro.
right.
Not everybody has that. Like kids in Gaza right now, they don't have that. They're
Yeah,
just trying to survive
flex.
day to day. Thousands of kids are dying. So it's just I understand completely where it's just like,
Yeah,
but as a kid growing up, going through that and like that military, yes, make sure you get back by 8, 7, 6. Any little thing you do, you get beaten for.
flex.
It's so hard on you mentally, and
Yeah,
like sometimes it makes you more subservient, more accepting of other things that other people do wrong to you. That like you wouldn't. It's just one of those things where you understand, but it's still something that hurt you so deeply, and
yeah,
to not feel accepted and going with these emotions, it's just, and it's different generations. People say, but some parents do try. Some parents, like my parents, do still try to understand that now as I'm an adult, talking to them more about it
right.
and forgiving a lot of the things that happened in the past.
Yeah,
It's
and
yeah, man.
like like I said, to give my mom credit, I do see her. I do see her. She made a lot of improvement because that was a big breaking point too. When
Yeah.
she came to visit me, and first off, yeah, so this added to the anger while I was in there, like homicidal. Like while I was in there, my mom and my uncle came to visit me, and yeah, I just felt low. And come to find out, my dad didn't even want to come. Like, like my uncle had to go cuss my dad out and pretty much drag him to come and see me.
Hmm.
So after a while, it was visiting day again. My mom came in. They set it up in the cafeteria. Everybody, parents was in the cafeteria. We go there, and I'm talking to my mom, and a lot of things like I had problems with her. I was telling her like how she contributed to this, like just what things she did to hurt me, and she just kept blaming that on like, yo, she wasn't even really blaming it on my dad. She was just focusing, it's like, because she know like how the relationship between me and my dad was, and that
Hmm.
was the main thing. I was like, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the things you did. And like she was doing that, I was like, yo, if you can't talk about the things you did, I'm not talking about it. Don't come visit me again. Like, I'm good, man. This for what? If we can't talk and have a real conversation, don't come visit me, man. I'm straight. So once I get out now, I ain't want to tell people that I was out. I ain't even want to like just
Yeah,
a
I don't
lot of
even think I knew.
yeah, a lot of shame, man. Just a lot of shame. Just now I'm broken. Now I felt like I was damaged goods, you know. Like, yeah, I'm broken now. I'm the guy that dropped out of one after one semester in school, and that ended up in a mental hospital. I'm the crazy guy that ended up in a mental hospital. So a few years later, I started getting my things together. I moved to Detroit, and I was like, okay, I gotta do something in my life. Gotta find an opportunity. That was going well until I got into psychedelics because I was still carrying all that depression, all that stuff that I haven't dealt with. So now I'm just looking for outlets to escape. So I'm using psychedelics. I'm going deep into it. And it's to a point where I feel like I did go psychotic. Like I was paranoid, thinking everybody's out to get me. There was one point, bro, I was in my living room on the floor in the fetal position, just like shaking because I having a bad trip, just like saying, yo, like make it stop. And I ended up asking myself, like, how did I end up here? Like in this position in life, how did I end up here? So it's a shame there because the people I was with, my radio mentors, they was all doing big things and I just couldn't get my act together. So I felt like I'm making them look bad. I feel like
Hmm.
the weakest link. So I was like, I gotta leave Detroit after 3 years. I left without telling nobody in Detroit. Just packed up, moved back, drove back to Delaware without telling nobody. And then it was shame in there because I feel like I abandoned them after they helped me. They helped me out a lot. My radio mentors, they helped me out a lot.
That's when you had the afro. I
Yeah, and I
remember.
felt like I just abandoned them.
Yeah.
And while I was in Detroit, I know we jump around, but while I was in Detroit, I ended up going back to school. But it was after 3 years, so I was really struggling with math because I remember like that now that I'm connecting the dots, that was the toughest subject just because I always did good in English. Math tripped me up. So most of the beatings I got when it came to homework was during math. So my
You're
professor,
talking
he
to
was
the
real
reading in the
cool.
choir,
Yeah,
my guy.
bro, he was real cool though. He was big into self improvement, and he was always preaching the self improvement stuff. So he invited me to like a men's improvement group that he be going to. So he invited me there. He helping me out with homework and stuff. And I felt low because when he helped me out with the homework, I get it. But when I get home, it's like just foggy. It's like nothing clicks. It could be the exact same question he just helped me with. So, bro, I feel this class so bad, bro. So bad. I got a super F. Like when it came to it, I could have got 100% on the final with extra credit, and I would still get an F in the class. Like it was bad, bro. It was bad, bro. Like super F, bro. Like, bro, it was bad, bro. Like, man, I could have got 100% in extra credit and
God
still
save us.
failed the mess out of this class,
Yeah, man. My man.
bro.
Yeah.
Bro, what? So that's part of the shame too. And he told me he's the one. God damn. He's the one that addressed the shame. He's like, it sounds like you're dealing with a lot of shame, man. Shame's a powerful emotion, especially for men. It's the one a lot of men carry and we don't even know.
Hmm.
So we went to the men's group. He was helping me out a lot. So when it came time for the finals now, like I didn't even go to the final. Because like I told you, I could have got 100% and I would still get an F. So it's like, what's the point? Why put myself through that? So I didn't show up to the final. And then I stopped talking to him just out of shame. He was reaching out all that, like this dude invested all this time in me. I failed the finals. I felt like I wasted his time. So it was shame,
So
shame.
it's just like this continuation of shame, from anger to shame,
Shame
from
from
anger to
anger to
shame,
shame.
anger to shame.
Act out in anger, feel shameful about it, looking back and regretting it. Anger to shame. And that was just a
How?
constant revolving loop in my life. And it
What do
wasn't,
you think was the catalyst to like get you out of this loop? To not even have shame for the thing, just but instead of shame, reflection. You know what I mean? Like, and instead of like let it be a teaching moment instead of a shameful moment. You know.
honestly, it wasn't until I started getting therapy. I think it's been 2 years now. 2 years ago, I had a great
Mm,
black therapist. It's the older dude. And he really just helped me look at all those moments. That's like, look at it. You had a
mm,
great opportunity in for sports. You went there. You knew yourself. You knew what was best for you. You made a hard decision that most people wouldn't have taken. And you did. You made the decision that was best for you to take time for your mental health. It's like, okay, look, you end up going to the mental hospital, but it ended up showing you your purpose. You end up actually releasing some of what you've been carrying.
yeah.
You acting out in anger, but you was in pain. You never knew any way to express yourself. You was in an environment where you couldn't express yourself. It's like you was bound to explode. It's natural.
Yeah.
And
So
you
trying to make you see a different
get a
perspective.
different perspective. Like just see it from a different perspective. And he was telling you, like, yo, because of that shame, I had this mindset that I was a bad person.
Hmm.
And I didn't know it, but looking back, I really had a deep rooted mindset that I was a bad person. And it was affecting me. It stopped me from making friends. It stopped me from wanting to get close to people. So I don't want, even with relationships, I don't want to hurt. To show no proof that I hurt it, but yeah, I had this deep rooted thing in my
I
mind that I was a
yeah.
bad person. So he made me see it from a different perspective, and he showed me like, yo, the fact that you feel shameful means that you got empathy for what those people who had to see you like that went through. You had empathy for the people you hurt. You feel remorse. That means you got good morals. That means you are a good person. If you was a bad person, you just wouldn't care.
Mhm.
So
That's so
now,
true. That is so true.
yeah. So I had to look at all those as things that made me stronger and just shift my mindset to what is this trying to teach me? Everything that goes bad in life, I look at what is this trying to teach me? And it helped me shift the perspective.
So after all that, after being through all that, do you find yourself in a better place now than then? Like, do you find yourself checking your ego, checking your anger?
Yeah. I'm in a
Yeah.
way better place now because for a while I was ashamed to get angry. I
Mm-hmm.
told myself, I'm not gonna let people get me angry. That's too much power to give away.
No, I get.
I'm not gonna let
Yeah,
people get me angry. So like,
yeah, I get that.
but that pacified me.
Yeah,
It made me
just
damn near
feel weak,
made me a
small.
pushover, bro. It made me a
Yeah,
pushover just cause like,
there's certain things you're letting go that you know you wouldn't let go, but you
yeah,
don't know how to talk to it
I don't know
in a
how to
way that's
talk
not
to it.
anger.
I don't know how
To
to
be,
express myself in a healthy
yeah,
way. So I was like, yo, and especially when people intentionally disrespecting you.
yeah.
So it was like,
Oh,
I'm letting this go because I don't want to black out. Like I didn't trust myself when I get angry. That's that I didn't trust myself when I get angry
yeah.
because to me, anger means blacking out. So I was like, I don't want to I don't want to let people get me angry. I don't want to get angry in relationships, even though it's practical that your girl's gonna do things that make you mad. So like, yeah, like you gonna do things that make her mad.
Yeah,
It's,
true. Yeah,
it's part of the relationship. So I demonized anger, which I see isn't healthy. It's a natural emotion.
bro, you
Just to
have
let
to
you know
express your anger in some way.
exactly. Anger just lets you know that your boundaries have been violated in some kind of way.
Mm.
That's what you do after. But I didn't know that. So I'm thinking anger is bad. Anger is bad. Don't get angry. So I was doing good. And I think it was probably like a year ago. I had a spat with my sister and like I lost it just like saying things I shouldn't have said, shouting, just yeah, man, going crazy with the just going crazy with the way I spoke, and like I was more upset that I even let myself get to that point. I was like, damn, man, I let myself get angry again.
Turn it to 100.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this and that. Not looking that, yo, I was doing so good. I ain't get angry in years, and now I get angry, I explode, this and that. But I really had to work on my relationship with anger, or work on how to express that, or work on healthy ways of expressing that, and how to express it verbally, what I'm feeling. So once I got a better relationship with anger, it's like weight get lifted off because I don't got to carry that around. So I
Yeah.
know it's okay to get angry. I know how to express myself when I get angry. I know what to do if I'm too angry to express myself.
Yeah.
I know, like to be in a situation. I know how to remove myself from that, and then start releasing some of the shames. Like you was, you were abused. Pretty much, you went through a lot. Your parents did everything they could, but nobody taught them how to deal with things, so they couldn't teach you. You had to learn that on your own.
So,
And
see, I love that because it goes from blaming yourself to trying to be more understanding. Like,
yeah,
we do that so much where whenever anything goes wrong, we like,
blame
we
myself.
blame ourselves instead of talking to ourselves like we would a friend going through the same situation we're going through. Like, we
Right.
constantly demonize ourselves instead of,
And I used to
to like,
be
you're
super,
your own friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
I used to be super harsh on myself, bro. I used to be my own worst enemy, man. Cause like, bro, I used to be talk to myself so crazy, man. So when someone else say something, it's like, you can't say nothing to me that I probably ain't already said. So when someone else say it, it's like, damn, they think so too. It's almost like they confirming what I was already thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
And
that
so
hurts.
it hurts, bro. It hurts. It hurts.
uh,
So yeah,
mhm.
once I got a better relationship with anger, and I was able to just shift my perspective and seeing what lessons I learned from these perspectives, I was able to work on forgiveness for myself a while, and that counts with a different perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, bro, I'm in a way better place now. I'm in a way
that's
better
good.
place than I met
That's
before.
good.
I'm in a way better place now. So sometimes it still creeps up, you know, like just even recently, just with the job situation, and I had good jobs. I was making good money at a marketing agency, and I knew from the very first day they hired the wrong position because of the stuff they wanted me to solve. I was like, that's a job for a whole different position, but I was trying to do it, and I got fired after like 4 months. But like talking to people now, because I kept up with people from
The
the
work.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, yo, they never gave you a chance, man. Like they didn't put you in a good position to succeed. So that helped me out. But you know, getting fired from a job, especially a good job like that, it's like, damn. So now I carried that on, and when I got like a tech job, I was like, okay, good money, good opportunity. This is the dream job for most people. But the first like 6 months, I was just super anxious, man. It's like, damn, I don't want to get fired doing this. I gotta stay busy. I gotta stay on job. I feel like I can get fired in any moment, even when I'm doing good. I
Hmm.
was always on edge about getting fired, and that was part of the shame that comes with that. So like, I'm doing a lot better, but there's still times where it creep up in my life. But
It's
I think we,
there's so much to dissect there, like in
yeah,
terms of like it's not even just the emotions you're going through. You're dealing with the past things that happened to you. You're
yeah,
dealing with, let's be honest, how many black people were at your job? You're
I
literally
think
dealing
it
with
was too.
you're dealing with the corporate structure of how, black people in the corporate world have to behave and act in order to even be seen as successful. So it's a lot going through your mind
Right,
in terms of I need to be successful, even though you're doing everything right.
fact,
I- you're doing everything right, but you feel like you have to be doing 10 times better to even
facts,
seem like you're doing everything right. So it's
exactly.
just
And I was I was the youngest. So that seemed like a theme in my life. I got used to being the youngest in the room.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Detroit at the radio station, everybody I met was older than me. At that marketing job, everybody was older than me. And then at that tech job, I was the youngest. And I was in a position of management because I had a certification. So now it's like you come in to be a manager, people that got way more experience than you, work wise and just life. So it's like, yeah, it's like, dog, I gotta seem like I really know what I'm doing. You're a young black man in a management position. You feel me? Like at a tech company,
Yeah.
this is like people's dreams job. And part of the shame came back too, because after a while, I didn't feel fulfilled. Like I was chasing something that people think or the prize jobs, or you should do this. Oh, everybody want to play college sports. I went there, realized it wasn't for me. And that's a shame. It's like you doing something that everybody want to do. I got a good marketing job. People dream about that. I got fired, so it was not even my choice. But so it wasn't even my choice. But yeah, at the tech job, I was like, yo, I'm working in tech. I'm a young black man working in tech. I'm making a six-figure salary. Like this is people's dreams, but I wasn't fulfilled. I was like, this ain't for me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I talked to my therapist about that. It's like, damn, this is just like you about to walk. Oh yeah, I was at the radio station. It's like people, that's a cool job. It's like you about to walk away from another great opportunity. For what?
The
So
stuff is
it's
still
like,
with you, yeah. It
yeah,
never really goes
yeah,
away. It's just constantly you're constantly working at it and at it. It's like recognizing it's there
yeah,
and attacking it in different ways, whether it be talk therapy or, talking yourself
yeah,
down from the ledge metaphorically,
yeah.
or just whether it be just relaxing or finding other avenues to relax that anxious part of yourself.
Facts, bro.
Um,
Because
yeah.
yeah, because even now looking at the whole corporate situations and all that happened, the root cause of that was inadequacy. I got fired from the marketing job, so now I feel inadequate at this next position. And that's why I was like, yo, I gotta make sure I don't get fired. I gotta do good because I'm not feeling good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes, the inadequacy is the root cause. And because I'm feeling inadequate or because I'm not feeling good enough, I teeter between anger and shame. Anger and shame. But I've got a good control on that right now.
That's good.
And I use my own hypnosis and therapy part on myself because when you in like the mental health field too, and I hear this from a lot of therapists, they feel shameful. It's like, damn, man, I help other people heal the mental health, and now I'm going through some things. But yeah, man, so I've learned to be a lot more compassionate with myself, be gentle with myself. My ex, she helped me with that a lot. Just being more kind and gentle to myself. You being more patient with myself and just looking from a different perspective when something goes wrong or I have a bad moment. Just see how that is actually trying to teach me something.
Mm-hmm. Telling yourself,
Yeah,
if I knew.
if I knew.
Mm.
Yo, you nigga, yo, okay, okay, woo,
Okay.
bro.
Okay. I think, yeah, man. We talked about it a lot right now, man. I mean, I'm glad you feel so free to like even open up about this because, like,
Nice.
it takes a lot. It takes, people like to say emotions are for women, but it takes
Right,
a real man to open up about something so traumatic for them to tell other people that even if you're going through what, like, you're going through this, I went through this too. It might not be the same, but there are people out here. You're not alone. You're not alone, and it's okay to feel the way you feel. Don't feel like you're unheard. Because listen, there's people out here who will hear you out. You
that's
just gotta
right,
find those people and find the people that are right for you. Because the people who aren't hearing you, they're not right for you. You know what I mean? Like,
bro. Yeah, that helped, man. That helped, especially getting the people that are right for you, bro. That's one thing too. I do appreciate you and and Jared and Tyler, because there was a few times, man, when I was in the midst of everything, man, just talking to y'all, it really helped ground me, man. Just like, all right, I got somebody safe to talk to, somebody I know ain't gonna judge me,
Yeah.
somebody can just take my mind off this shit. And
I
when I went,
we've all been through different. We had to grow apart to come together. Like
fact,
you always say that we have to grow. We had to grow apart to come together because we all been through so different traumatic things in our life at
fact,
different aspects and different like ratios.
yeah,
But when we come together and talk about it, it's a level of understanding that's like this is a safe space. Like we're not trying to shame each other for how we're feeling. Like I'm not gonna lie, so like I've been in some friend groups where like they'll literally shame you for even trying to talk about this, and it's
damn, yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah,
Which is, I mean, like if you want to make jokes, like that's also another way men like
yeah,
talk about their feelings is they clown each other for their feelings
right,
to like. But now I get it though. Like on some no homo stuff, I get it, bro. Like,
but
but
yeah,
it's just yeah,
yeah, but I appreciate you, man. Like even going to your graduation party, like after being sober for years and whatnot, and it's like, man, you ain't pressure me, you ain't try to judge me, and then when people was doing some things, man, you ain't let me sit there by myself. So, like you, like I
yeah,
appreciate
man.
that, man. Like that really showed me that I got some thorough friends, man.
Because it's like also I know like where you're coming from. Like I know my friend enough where I'm just like, if you're my friend and this is something you are, I'm never gonna peer pressure you into doing it.
Right,
Unless I know you into it, it's just like oh they were doing it back and forth like But like if you're my friend, I'm never gonna pressure you into doing it because like I want you to feel like you're safe and it's okay
right,
to be here and it's like be comfortable in the space,
right,
be okay being in the space, like I hate people who try to force things on people to make them to shame them into like I hated when that would happen to me, so I'm not gonna reflect that onto other people. I hate that. Like I hate when people do that. Oh, you're not one of us if you're not doing this or that. Nah, bro, you don't got to. It's cool. Like don't like.
right.
I'm gonna respect 100% your boundaries. I think that's what it is respecting other people's boundaries enough to
Facts, facts. Respecting people's boundaries, that's
yeah
huge, bro. So yeah, I say that to say, man, I appreciate that, and that really like that did a lot for me, man. That showed me that I am safe, that I do got thorough friends, and it just reinforced that I don't have to do X, Y, Z to fit in socially with people.
yeah. We're not kids anymore, man. Like we're not like in middle school, bro. Oof. Yeah,
Yeah,
and you do the same too. Like so, it's a mutual respect for each other, man. Honestly, it's a mutual respect and a mutual love for each other.
right.
That like you're my brother, bro. Like,
Facts.
come on.
So I
Yeah.
think that's a good place to
That's a
end.
good yeah.
Yeah, we went deep, man. We went deep, and I hope you guys appreciate that. There was a little bit of rambling, but I feel like we
It's
can
good
learn a lot.
rambling.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like we can learn a lot from both stories. And so before clocking on, I feel like I want to get in the habit of doing this at the end. What are some
Yeah.
three things you learned from the story you
I knew he was
shared?
gonna ask this. He was gonna because he asked this last time. I think he was gonna ask this.
Yeah, yeah,
Um three things I learned from my story.
right. Looking back
Um
now,
don't hold hate in my heart, you know. Like hate will has driven me to do crazy things. Don't hold hate in my heart. Reflect on my own actions. Three things I learned: reflect on my own actions, and I think it was a certain level of knowing who I can and can't trust, like
mm,
knowing who should or shouldn't. Like certain of those guys that were on the team that I knew, like I'm like I'm
right,
not. I stopped talking to you. Like we're not.
right,
I don't gotta fake being cool with you, And I think that's one of the things is also like just try to be my authentic self. Don't try to fake. Like if I don't like you, move away. Like I don't gotta obsess my mind with it. I think which is what I constantly did. Like, which is like the hate and everything else that is kind of like one in the same, where it's like hate and then obsessing over that hate. And sometimes karma will do you justice. That's all it is.
yeah. So three things I learned from your story. I feel like this is a good
Oh, were we
perspective.
doing each other's story?
Yeah, I feel like this
Oh,
is a good
oh,
perspective, bro. This is
okay,
different. Three
okay,
things I learned. Yeah, just on the cusp, bro.
okay,
We freestyling.
okay. Go ahead,
So
go ahead, go
three
ahead.
things I learned from your story for sure is sometimes hating other people will only hurt you in the end.
Hmm.
It will only hurt you in the end because you're gonna do so many things out of hate, but you're not doing it to them. And even if you do something to them, you're gonna have to deal with the consequence. So then
Yeah,
they holding hatred for other people only hurt you in the end.
yeah,
Two, don't let outside forces and circumstances make you lose the love for something. If you lose the love, you choose not to do it, it should be your choice. Don't let the outside forces and people make you lose the love for something you used to really cherish.
hmm.
Because you end up getting back into it anyway.
And
There's
there's
too
so
much
many
power
years
in
lost
people.
there. Yeah,
Yeah. And three, yeah, man, really being able to have that discernment for people, for knowing who you can and can't trust.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah.
So,
You wanna? So, what are three things you learned from your story?
great things I learned is no emotions are bad emotions because emotions are natural. It's just all about how it changes your perspective on them and how you respond and react to those emotions. Because even
Hmm.
shame is a natural emotion. It tells you that you did something wrong or that something don't sit right with you.
Yeah.
So two, you gotta be more kind to yourself. You gotta be more kind to yourself. Look at your mistakes, look at the things you went through, and put that into consideration. You was probably hurt. You was probably moving out of pain. Maybe somebody didn't show you how to react the proper way. Maybe you was just winging it, trying to figure some things out. You gotta be more calm for yourself. Think about what happened to you, what you was going through, and put it in perspective. And three, like even in your toughest moments, I feel like the toughest moments are just teaching moments. Like shifting that perspective when something bad is happening.
Hmm.
Think, how is this? What is this trying to teach me? Instead of why is this happening to me, you can ask why is this happening for me, or what is this trying to teach me?
Mm.
So when you completely shift your perspective, you go from looking at this as a bad moment to a teaching moment and a learning moment. Like, okay, this
Hmm.
is going through. What is this trying to teach me? How do I feel right now? What can I learn from this? And that really did help me a lot when it comes to looking back at some of the things that happened in my life.
Okay. Yeah. Well, three things I learned from your story was like, because you talk so much about your, your childhood and your father and your mother, but you also, and how wrong you felt like during that period of in your life.
Right.
But I also hear a lot of forgiveness in your voice, a lot
Yeah.
of understanding. So I think that's one of the things is forgiveness and understanding of sometimes you have to grow, you have to let go of certain things,
Yeah.
not let go in the sense like you're never going to forget it, but be able to let go the hostile feeling you had
Right.
towards those situations, you know what I mean? It's
Take your power back.
yeah, take your power back. And it takes a big person to do that. I think that's one of the things. Like another thing would be like the anger and the shame you felt and how it led to the decisions you made, and learn how to feel anger without feeling your shame. Learn how to feel anger without reacting in a way that's negative or
Right. It's like feel the emotions without letting them consume you.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And then learn from your shame. Oh, like you just said, it's a teaching moment. Learn from that shame instead of letting that shame absorb you and ignoring the things that are good for you.
Yeah.
So don't like the whole job thing and how the shame was constantly on your mind and distracted you from what you was doing in your work in your place. Like you're
Yeah.
in a good place. Don't let that shame build up in you. And I think three is definitely don't hold on to things, like in terms of like don't let the anger build up, recognizing that anger and not letting it build up inside of you. I think that's so important for anybody anybody today, because it's so easy for us to like let the anger, oh, it's okay. Sometimes there's certainly a balance of being okay with things and not being okay with knowing your boundaries, understanding it, and voicing it in a healthy way, but also in a what is strong way that sets your limits so other people can understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think those are the three things.
yeah, man. That's some good takeaways, bro. Man, I
Yeah,
like this, bro. This is gonna be big. This is
yeah.
gonna be big. Like this is conversation all real real. There's some conversations that should be that people should be having.
I'm
These are
sure people are
conversations
having, and
that's
like
needed to
people,
be out in public.
yeah. But if anybody out there feels they're alone, you're not alone, man. Always know if you need a voice to talk to, needed people to listen to you, we're here. You can leave comments. We try to reply to some comments too, and it's always good to get other people's perspectives. So we want those your life experiences. We want to know them, and we want to go through them with you.
Facts. We're trying
Yeah,
to build a community, man. Just letting you know that it's a safe place to share your experiences. It's a safe
yeah.
place to be vulnerable. You're not alone. There's people that been through so many things that you've been through. So we want to build a community where we're having these conversations, we're helping each other, and we're growing together.
Yeah. And for our men out there, like, you can be manly and still express your emotions, man. You can still,
Facts,
it's still manly to express your emotions. Like,
facts, man. Because I'm happy I'm getting a lot more clients for the noses that are men. Because a while it was just women, and I
yeah,
started this to help the men because women were always the ones getting help. They're gonna get help regardless, but men, we need to start getting help. It's not that wrong with getting professional help, man.
nothing wrong with going to
Just
therapy
yeah,
at all. Like, the negative connotations we have with therapy, there's nothing wrong with it. Um, Standing up for yourself, nothing wrong with it. Don't be afraid to be called sassy because you want to stand up for yourself, bro. You don't understand. Like,
that's that's probably for a whole different episode.
yeah, yeah, actually, yeah.
Men
But
can't do nothing no more. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, listen,
That's
listen,
a whole
listen. We're
different.
not gonna turn it to this
Yeah,
podcast.
we're
We're not
not
gonna.
turning that
It's
part.
okay. All
That ain't us. That ain't us. We're not turning that podcast. But
okay, all right,
yeah,
all right.
that's a whole
But
different
yeah,
episode. We know that.
thank
But
you for watching. Like, subscribe. You can find us
you know,
soon on Spotify. We're gonna be on Spotify. Watch.
yeah,
Speaking into existence. Um, what Twitter? No, not
Twitter,
Twitter.
TikTok,
TikTok,
Instagram.
Instagram, and YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I knew.
yeah. If I knew. So I'll end it with this. If
Yes, brother.
this has been brought to you by Emotional Kaleidoscope. So this is a card game that we use to start off these questions.
No, no,
Oh,
back it up.
this is a card game that we use to start off and have these discussions. So we got a bunch of prompts on it where we can all get together and start having deeper conversations and actually getting to know each other and connecting on a better level.
Yeah.
So if you want to get there, you can head over to their website. And I'm gonna drop it in the link below. And go show some love. Go grab those cards and start connecting with people you love, having true, deeper, meaningful conversations. And for everybody that's listening and watching, speed life. All right, you don't know what people are going through.
Mm.
Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. Because if you knew what they was going through, damn, I don't know. Damn,
Would
I
you
thought
still
I had,
act the same?
ooh, I thought I had something.
No, that is though. If you knew what they were going through, would you still act the same?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you knew what they was going through, would you still act the same? Yo, this dog crazy, bro.